Welcome to the biology session. This is Parsa Inamdar from Biology Department. In this video, my dear students, we are going to learn about the third chapter in your syllabus, that's nothing but plant kingdom or kingdom plantae. Okay? So let me begin the session with this quote. Life in its present form is not possible on earth without plants. Plants are autotrophs and most of them are capable of making their own food using a process called photosynthesis. Plants are primarily producers. Members of the plant kingdom are eukaryotes, that is autotrophs. They are non-motile. In our previous class, we talk about Whitaker's five kingdom classification, wherein we talk about five kingdom into which all variety of living organisms are classified. Those kingdoms were Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So, Mr. Whitaker has classified the wide variety of the organism into five kingdom. That's nothing but Monera. Monera is divided into eubacteria and archaebacteria. Then comes to the protistans. Then fungi. After the fungi, Animalia and Plantae. So we covered first three kingdom in our previous lesson. In your previous lesson, my dear students, or in your previous video, we have covered the first three kingdom. Now, so we will dedicate this lesson on plant kingdom. Totally, we are going to dedicate this video on plant kingdom. So, plant kingdom, my dear student, as you can see on your screen, plant kingdom is divided into two subdivisions. That's nothing but cryptogams and phanerogame, or flowering plants and non-flowering plants. Cryptogamia or cryptogams are nothing but non-flowering plants, the plants which cannot possess flower. Phanerogams are nothing but the plants which can bear flowers. Flowering plants, they possess flowers. They bear flowers. Again, cryptogams are classified into three subdivisions. That's nothing but Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophytes. Thallophyta again divided into four subdivisions. That's nothing but bacteria, algae, fungi, lichens. Now coming to the flowering plants, that's nothing but phanerogams. Again they are divided into two main groups. That's nothing but gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms, commonly known as conifers. Angiosperms are commonly known as fruit-bearing plants. So, my dear students, angiosperms are again divided into monocots and dicots based on cotyledon present on them. As the name says, plants, here we are going to say, or we are going to talk about variety of the plant which exists on this earth. Starting from the flowering plant, for example, rose plant, sunflower, or big trees which you see on the ground, parks, trees on the hilly area, aquatic plants. So there are actually a lot of variety in this kingdom. So when we are speaking about the plant kingdom, there is a much varied variety in this kingdom. This kingdom is going to be a huge, so we are learning it as a complete chapter. So the kingdom is going to be so huge. You are going to study about varied variety of the plants. So it is going to be a huge, so we are learning it as a complete chapter. So it need to classify them. You are supposed to classify them so that the study can become very easy for us. So my dear students, let us begin with the first. The topics which are going to cover in this chapter are, you are going to cover some of the subtopic in the plant kingdom, and we are going to study in detail about that. That's nothing but algae. The first subtopic in this chapter is algae. Next one will be bryophytes. Next one will be pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Then the last one will be plant life cycle and alternation of generation. These are the subtopics which are going to be covered in this chapter called plant kingdom. So let us begin with algae. Okay, as I have quoted in the beginning itself the quote, life in its present form is not possible on earth without plants. So algae are mostly aquatic, some being terrestrial also. Majority of the algae, my dear students, they are aquatic form, in the sense they are living in the water habitat. Their habitat is water. The medium where they are going to grow is algae, and some are terrestrial, in the sense some of the algae can grow on land also. A few algae grow on the other plants. The few algae they are going to grow on the other plants also, on the bark of the plants. Aquatic algae grow in marine as well as fresh water. So my dear students, as I said, majority of the algae are going to grow in the aquatic medium, so they can grow in marine. Marine means salt water, and they can grow in fresh water also. My dear students, the next thing which I am going to discuss is very important. Try to remember it. The examples and the types. Here now firstly I will be discussing about the structure of the algae. The algae are small, unicellular, microscopic, like chlorella. See, for each and everything you should remember the example, because examples and their structure are important for the point of theory as well as for the point of competitive. So they will ask you the examples. They will ask you the sentence like, name the algae which is small, microscopic, unicellular. So the example will be chlorella, and it is non-motile. See the main feature, the chlorella is small, it is microscopic, unicellular, non-motile. It cannot move. Non-motile, it is attached. It cannot move. So the example is chlorella. Next example, again the small, unicellular, microscopic, motile. The plant which can move. The plant which can move, we call it as motile. So the example is Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. They are small. The algae are small. They are also unicellular, microscopic, but they are motile. So don't get confused, my dear students. Motile, you are supposed to give the example Chlamydomonas. Non-motile, you are supposed to give the example chlorella. Now coming to the multicellular. Just now I said about algae which are unicellular. Now I will be telling about the algae who are multicellular. They are unbranched filamentous. So the example for this is Spirogyra and Eulothrix. Now coming to the multicellular. So they are multicellular. The algae which are multicellular, unbranched filamentous. So the example is Spirogyra and Eulothrix. Next one, branched filamentous. The algae who are multicellular but they are branched. They give rise to branch and they are filamentous, like Chara, or you can pronounce Kara. Both the pronunciation is correct. Now coming to the colonial form. Some of the algae, they are unicellular, singly formed. Some are multicellular, and now they are colonial. They forms their colony. They comes in group. They form their own colony. For that the example is Volvox. And some of the algae are very huge. They are said to be macroscopic, like a seaweed. Seaweed, everybody know. Weeds means unwanted plants, which measure more than 60 meter in length. Example, Sargassum. This is the huge algae which is known to us. The most huge algae among all is Sargassum. So I have quoted you different examples like chlorella, Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, Ulothrix, Volvox, and Sargassum. All the examples are different and you are supposed to remember for a particular thing. It's very important for the point of theory as well as for the point of competitive.